government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, we have an information-packed transmission lined up for you today. It is, of course, Wednesday, the 20th day of July, 2011, and we're going to be live here for at least the next 3 hours. We have James Corbett, who I thought was joining us yesterday, joining us today to give us his take on the whole News Corp scandal that's threatening to bring down the Prime Minister and the head of News Corp, Rupert Murdoch. Tony Gosling, BBC researcher, radio talk show host, the proprietor of Bilderberg.org. He'll be joining us with James Corbett of the Corbett Report. Webster Tarpley on the latest on Libya. Is Gaddafi really going to step down? Will the ground invasion set for late September, early October be called off? What about the press reports of Berlusconi, the El Presidente of Italia, of Italy, reportedly being involved shipping the arms into Gaddafi? Well, we know the British government was. That's on record, including Gordon Brown before him and Tony Blair, before David Cameron. So it's a barrel of snakes, and those three guests are joining us today, but not until the midway point, or the point of no return, at 12:30 Central Standard Time today. Now, if you're watching on PrisonPlanet.tv, we can show you this giant array of news. And I talk about this a lot. Every day, every week, it gets crazier and crazier. The news contained here is evidence of everything we talked about 16 years ago, a decade ago, 5 years ago, coming true. It's all here. Genetically engineered crops designed to sterilize you. Government taking babies' blood at birth. Bioweapons programs. Toll roads you pay for 3 times. Global government. Bank receivership. Dollar complete devaluation. Police with retina scanners at checkpoints taking blood. And then a lot of other really bizarre, crazy stuff in the mix. You know, a federal court will rule that if you accidentally serve a Hindu a pastry with some meat in it, that you're liable. But if the TSA wants to grab your child's genitals and violate federal and state law, it's okay. Or I've seen federal court rulings where criticizing the police can get you in jail. But then there's been a federal court ruling that a man was allowed to say that he wanted to kill Obama. That's in the LA Times today. So a lot of really bizarre stuff. And by the way, I read his supposed free speech. It is a call to action. And I'm a public figure. I don't like a precedent where, but this goes for anybody, where somebody can say, I'm going to kill you, and you don't get in trouble. I am for any type of speech, 110%, until you cross the line with a call to action. And the minute you say, well, we ought to go kill this person, or we ought to go kill that person. Number one, if you're actually going to go try to kill somebody, well, how about you not talk about it? That's another good rule. But here's another statement. The last thing we want is for anything to happen to President Obama. That would turn this lame duck, destroyed, burnout, globalist personality into a martyr. So we want to take good care of Obama. So down the road, when we take the Republic back, Obama and his cohorts and the Republican Party as well can have nice prison cells where they're going to live out the rest of their lives, and where we can basically have them on display. Even the Bible talks about once Satan's defeated, he'll be on display for 1,000 years. That's a good idea.
Hi, this is Steve Shank and Babs Rosberg with eFoods Direct. Babs, you work a lot with shipping, and things are going absolutely nuts with this new Independence Month Patriot Pack that eFoods is giving away.
The way things are going, we're shipping thousands of these great little Patriot Packs out. Just an example, Sherry from Arkansas made a $1,300 order. We shipped her 5 free Patriot Packs, $750 more free food.
Folks are really surprised at what we're actually giving away. Now, folks, we've had 235 years of freedom in this country, so for every $235 worth of food ordered, we give away a $149 Patriot Pack free.
To order the best food on the planet, call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
A free 12-day supply Patriot Pack with every $235 worth of food ordered. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
It is Wednesday, the 20th day of July, 2011. We've got a jam-packed roster of guests joining us in the second hour of transmission today. I'll tell you more about those guests coming up, but we're going to break down the Libya situation. Is war on or isn't it? I mean, we know the continued bombardment is ongoing, but is ground invasion going to happen, as the military's been told to be ready for, in late September, early October? I certainly hope it's off the table, because if it isn't, it is going to be a huge casualty-causing event. That's death for folks that don't know their military terms, for our military and the Libyan military and the Libyan people, most importantly. So we're going to be going over that with Webster Griffin Tarpley, economist and doctor of history. James Corbett of the Corbett Report will be joining us, and Tony Gosling, a reporter from England, on the huge scandal that is threatening to bring down the Prime Minister of England, David Cameron, and the head of News Corp, Rupert Murdoch. I got some into this today, but later I want to be reminded by the producers to get back into the fact that 4 months ago, Media Matters memo went public, and they admitted it was their memo, that they would get hired at Fox and sabotage and infiltrate to, quote, destroy them. And I made the point that if I tried to get my employees hired into competitors' operations, That's espionage. Not that I have any competitors. As I've said, I'm not in an industry. I'm not in a business. I'm on a mission to restore the Republic and the spirit of 1776 worldwide, a rediscovery of freedom. But this is serious crimes admitted by Judicial Watch, similar to what we see News Corp doing. And so I say burn Rupert Murdoch and burn George Soros. Burn them all. This selective enforcement stuff, though, really gets me mad. And if you're not going to enforce across the board, well, then leave Rupert Murdoch alone. I'd rather just have anarchy and everybody fend for themselves if you're not going to enforce it across the board. It's better that 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man go to prison or be executed. I've got some good news before I plunge into all of the news and information I have in front of me. I have a tendency to always kick the broadcast off with some observation I've made of the media. I don't watch a lot of television, but I do monitor talk radio on XM, Sirius. Got Sirius in the house, XM in the car. Same company, but different channels. It's a smorgasbord, some of the same channels on each. I listen religiously to talk radio late at night when I'm reading, and I scan the dial online and on the AM dial. And the good news is liberal shows, conservative, libertarian, rock and roll shows. I was listening to the Dudley and Bob show on 93.7 FM here in town, the KLBJ FM twin of the AM I'm on, 590. And the callers were making jokes about it, and the hosts were. They don't normally talk about serious issues, about how ridiculous it is that the main star witness who could bring down the police for bribery, and we've already had the 2 police chiefs resign in London, the Metro Police Commissioner and the head of Scotland Yard, and could bring down the Prime Minister, confirmed to be involved in it. I mean, the head guy running the whole operation was his head media director from News Corp in Cameron's camp. Cameron's a kept politician, Rupert Murdoch. That's not debated. His political mistress, you could say. And you've got this huge scandal, News Corp execs arrested, and magically the star witness dies. And then tells his friends they're after me, they're threatening to kill me. And then the newspapers, I read quotes yesterday, are calling it a conspiracy theory. You're a conspiracy theorist if a guy's saying they're after me, I've got to hide. If anybody asks if I'm home, I'm not. Hiding out in the house with his lights off. And he dies. And the police within 20 minutes come out and say, and I love the shows I've been listening to are all reading the quotes, that we don't believe there's any foul play, and this appears to not be suspicious, and so we're not opening a criminal investigation. A star witness dies. I mean, you better have the most complex autopsies on earth done on this guy. The poisons corporations can get a hold of, that governments can get a hold of. Remember, of the 100 biggest economies in the world, 50 plus are not governments or countries. They are corporations. I told you last week, if this continued, look for deaths. I've told you that if Congress doesn't drop fast and furious against the ATF caught shipping guns into Illinois with the FBI and DEA, into Texas, into Florida, folks, they're shipping guns into gangs everywhere. There's gangs that work for the government, and there's gangs that get killed by the gangs that work for the government. It's called the Untouchables. It's called the real mafia structure in America. And if one gang gets uppity and happens to beat the gang muscle that works for the big banks that control the police, they send in police hit teams. And every major police department has a squad of hitmen. And that's come out in Boston. It's come out in New York. It's come out in L.A. It was the first place it came out in the 60s. They got teams of men with badges and guns, and when they hit hard. Okay? I don't have to sit here and explain this to people. I shouldn't have to, but stop acting like little children. You better admit how corrupt and rotten we've gotten. Oh, you don't think the banks are involved in narcotics trafficking? $500 billion a year just in cocaine and heroin coming into the U.S., laundered in banks that have all been caught laundering it and don't get in trouble. Small bank gets caught, they go to jail. That happens all the time. Competitors get caught, they go to jail. Police have been caught in every major department in the country living in multi-million-dollar houses and driving brand-new Corvettes with drugs. And then it's not enough to go shake down the drug dealers. Now they pull you over in Dallas, on record, throw a bag of chalk in the back of your brand new Mercedes and take it. No judge, no jury. Asset forfeiture seizure. Federal law. All right, you see I'm now ranting, and I'm going to burn up this entire hour, and I've got so much news. It's almost like before you exercise, you're about to go on that little 2-mile jog, you're out of shape like I am, and you kind of hesitate and kind of stretch for a while, and you're like, oh, man, this is going to be quite a marathon here, and you don't really get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the news before me. This stuff is insane. But getting back to what I was saying, the good news